And I do believe that they are rock stars just based on everything, based on the music, based on the lyrics, based on the aura around them whenever they land. You got tens of thousands of people trying to snap a picture. Like there's a lot of people, there's not many fan groups like the Army who treats them that way. Like I'm just telling you, did you see Jungkook coming out the airport? I seen a video of him coming in the airport. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But regardless, I do believe they're rock stars. I took a couple of notes. I'll explain to you like the points that I saw that I was interested in. Like point number one, I didn't know they had that many music because I guess I like so much of their music and they cross genres so much that I normally don't even notice. But they like Arson and the Spring Day remix. Like I just seen like they got bro, it was so many music clips that she put that I didn't even really think about. I was like, bro, this. Welcome back to the React Room. I'm your boy Don K. Back in here solo dolo again today. We got a great one for you guys today. BTS are rock stars. Are they rock stars? What is a rock star? Typically rock stars are, you know, they do the metal, they do the rock and roll genre. But when people call you a rock star, that doesn't really mean you do rock and roll or you really, I think it was the allure of being a rock star. There were people, if you were just famous and you had a whole bunch of attention and paparazzi and women or men throwing themselves at you, then you were considered a rock star because back then rock and roll used to be the #1 genre. It used to be the genre that everyone aspired to be. And rock stars are just simply more when it's like a compliment. When someone says you're a rock star, they just mean you're bigger than a star. You're a rock star. You're at the top of the pinnacle. So when people call you a rock star when you're a singer or a rapper, they just like, oh, you're a rock star. You could be a really good basketball player, a really good football player, a really good doctor, or he's a rock star. Just saying you're the most popular, you're the most sought after, you're just at the top of you're just at the highest, at the top of the mountain, you're at the top pinnacle level. So with that being said, are BTS rock stars? I believe they are. I believe they're at the top of their game. I believe they're at the top of the charts. But can we just believe me saying that? No, we can't. We got to look at other people's opinion. So we're going to watch a guide, BTS are rock stars, and we're going to see what other people are saying about it. Thank you for coming in. We 15,400 subscribers. We're keeping it grinding. You guys know, hit that like, share, subscribe, and follow button, and we're going to get right into it.
Just a quick disclaimer. If you're a rock fan or metalhead, I know how this community can be, so just don't be pretentious. Be open-minded and nice. If you're an ARMY but don't like hard rock or any kind of metal music with screams and loud instruments, I know you're going to be respectful. Just remember that these genres are not always pretty, and the music videos and live performances I will show can be a little disturbing. Also, please don't take my comparisons too seriously. This video is based mainly on my opinion. I love rock music. Actually, my favorite music genres are rock, metal, and there's subgenres. But my favorite artist is actually BTS. This may be surprising because BTS music catalog includes a lot of music genres, but they don't do a lot of hard rock. They do have songs with rock elements.
me once, then fool me twice. Burn it till it's all gone. Yeah, burn it.
But these songs were not the ones that made me an ARMY. Actually, the song that first got my attention was the disco funk bubblegum pop anthem Boy With Love. To be more specific, I got interested in BTS after watching the live performance of Boy With Love at M Countdown. At first, I didn't really understand why this specific performance got my attention. I didn't understand why BTS got my attention. What I'm about to say are just dumb stereotypes. But how can a performance of 7 men dressed in pink doing a choreography to a very poppy pop song be cool to a rock audience? Why did this make me a fan? It made no sense. But after years of learning more and more about the group and interacting with the fandom, I realized that it makes a lot of sense and that I'm not the only one. There are many ARMYs who consider rock music their favorite genre, but they are still fans of BTS. This is just my opinion, but I think this is because BTS gives so many rockstar vibes without necessarily having the conventional rockstar music. Despite seeing rock fans and metalheads reject them at first, just like I did, I now notice that BTS keep attracting this community. Here's why I think this happens. I love watching rock concerts and performances because they are insane. No matter what they're singing, you can expect a lot of energy, live vocals, and a real passion for performing. To be more specific, I see that both BTS and my favorite rock bands get into character. They feel the music so much that they forget about everything else. They are determined to put on a show. They perform like it's their last. Also, whether they like to admit it or not, there is a lot of thought in those concert outfits. If it's not masks, it's extravagant outfits or crazy makeup or unique hair colors or something different. The same way there's thought to BTS's outfits and stages. There is a theme and a different aesthetic every time. In pop music, this is hard to find with male singers. Female singers and rappers are usually the ones who care about looking good on stage, as well as rehearsing to give a performance worth watching, because people are paying to see them. But I don't always see the same energy from male singers. Male pop singers usually go on stage with an outfit you can wear to the supermarket and occasionally bring out a guitar. I'm not saying that this is bad, but it's not exactly what rock fans and ARMYs are looking for. Powerful energy, practice, and some thought to the presentation of the performance matter to most successful rock bands and BTS. And the size or importance of the stage doesn't matter. Whether they are at a small venue or a huge concert, they give their everything. I see a lot of people saying that they don't understand how BTS can dance those difficult choreographies in sync while singing live and changing formations all the time, to the extent that they make it seem easy, like they were born with all this talent, when in reality there were hundreds of hours of practice. The same way a rock band can have the illusion that they are careless, they are punk, they don't need practice, they don't care about anything.
Hamburg, Hamburg, over the fuck, fucking park.
Fucking everywhere, I don't fucking know.
But to make all of the instruments and live vocals sound good, as well as having a good presence on stage that feels like one cohesive group, they had to have a lot of practice. Both BTS and rock bands care about being impactful and giving an impression. And to do this in the most honest way, they do it through live performances, because anyone can fool the audience with an amazing music video. But to prove that they are good performers, they put a lot of thought and hours of practice to their live performances. I don't know if this happens with other people, but I genuinely think that some live versions of BTS songs and my favorite rock and metal songs are better live than in the studio, because it may sound less perfect, but it can feel more real and interesting.
Baby, come on, take it, yeah. Come on, show me what you got. You sexy girl. Now think I get you nowhere. 이상형 춤춰. 우리 결혼해. Baby, come on, take it, yeah. Come on, show me what you got. You sexy girl. Now think I get you nowhere. 내 이상형 춤춰. 우리 결혼해. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. 앞으로 더. Go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it. 달리자. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. 앞으로 더. Go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it. 달리자.
My point is that both BTS and rock bands have extreme, complicated, well-rehearsed, passionate, impactful performances. Being boring is not an option, and you can see it on the audience's response.
That was like a show that I've never seen in my life. I've been to so many concerts, I have seen festivals, I have seen like massive productions, but that dwarfs every other show I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know how to compare that to anything I've ever seen.
후회도 모르지 아니면 외로움이나 나을지 여전히 모르겠어 소스터로
I know that some people may say, well, extreme, well-rehearsed performances are common in all of K-pop, and that is true. I'm going to ignore those groups we all know are very lazy and don't like to perform. I'm going to ignore that lip-syncing or singing with loud, pre-recorded vocals are extremely common in K-pop. With all of that out of the way, it's known that K-pop groups in general practice a lot for their performances. But the reason why I care about BTS specifically is because there is a very heavy personal identity the members have with their music. To be more specific, they identify themselves with their lyrics. This may sound like an obvious thing, but let me explain why I found this surprising. There is this popular topic in K-pop regarding noise music. This is usually music that is out of the ordinary and that sounds very extreme. It's usually EDM and dubstep, but it's considered experimental. The first description may attract listeners like me because I love listening to people scream with a bunch of instruments being loudly played in the background. But K-pop's noise music is seen in a negative light because it's loud and too much without any reason to be. On the other hand, I feel like rock and metal are emotions coming to life. The songs are intense because feelings are intense. These extreme songs have a purpose and a meaning, and you can more easily recognize what the song wants to say by reading the lyrics. And yes, I'm saying reading the lyrics because even though most rock fans listen to rock music in their language, sometimes these intense genres have unintelligible lyrics. English is not my first language, so I was always open to foreign music. This is why I consider reading lyrics part of the listening experience. Sometimes you may even understand what the singers are saying, but reading the lyrics of a song makes you concentrate exactly on the message and your interpretation of it. I'm not saying that it's always like this, but the rock songs I happen to listen to have amazing lyrics most of the time, and the live performances are those lyrics coming to life. The same way, BTS's music has 7 unique songwriting styles that work cohesively and that feel authentic and natural on stage. Different artists can practice their performances, but they won't truly connect with the audience if lyrics don't matter. You can do the most complicated choreography the world has ever seen, but if the song and lyrics are not there, music fans that care for some kind of connection and real emotion won't be satisfied by your magic tricks on stage. BTS cares about their lyrics and correctly interpreting those lyrics on stage. We know that RM is the literal definition of a poet. Suga has been writing for himself and others way before being in BTS. J-Hope quickly became one of the most respected songwriters in South Korea, and the vocal line, Jin, Jimin, V, and Jungkook learned how to write music fast because they care about bringing a meaningful message to the group and correctly interpreting this message in their live performances. For all of them, lyrics matter because lyrics are emotions and stories and messages.
Personally, huge connection with the theme and the lyrics that they're talking about. It made me think of the first song that we wrote together.
BTS is kind of like in a area of genre where I wouldn't really mess around in, but something about the way that they write and the way that they make their lyrics flow and everything like that just keeps me really hooked in, which doesn't happen a lot with like a hip hop or like poppy side, you know?
Yeah.
Really intrigues me. They're great songwriters, and the fact that they're making me just want to slam this song out 50,000 times in a row is impressive.
Vocal line for me, I was like, it seems like it's going to be more poppy, and I'm not really into pop music very much. So that was the thing that I was nervous about. But then whenever I heard Epiphany, I was like, damn, pop music can actually carry a very deep message and something that I needed to hear at the time. And so that was a changing moment for me being a fan of theirs.
The BTS members write about themselves and their perceptions of the world. This is why their albums always reflected the stage of life they were going through. During their school years, they wrote about school. When they entered adulthood, they wrote about youth. If they live something, they write about it. Their songs usually have an easy and relatable message that doesn't require much thought, as well as a deeper, complicated meaning that requires some analysis. This is why so many armies, including rock fans, take the extra step of reading lyrics by a translator who gives context. Because I'm not joking when I say that these can be multi-layered poems with tons of wordplay that need interpretation and references about books, movies, traditions, movements, and different events that happen in South Korea and the world. This is how their music became some kind of social commentary. Just like with rock music, BTS has the occasional love song here and there, but most of their music has some kind of social commentary. Whatever the social or political message is, this is extremely common in rock and metal music.
You see a politician and you start to pull your hair. You wanna tell them what you think they fucking care.
The same way, BTS debuted with the mission of sharing social messages. And although some people say that BTS doesn't care about social commentary or impactful lyricism anymore, that is completely false and shows how a big part of the general public and K-pop fans don't read lyrics by themselves. They just repeat what others are saying. In every single album, from their first one to their most recent one, they have dealt with topics related to psychology, philosophy, politics, and society. BTS's rebellious lyrics were one of the main reasons why a group from a very small label with zero industry support got the attention of many. This type of success story is also common in rock music because the mainstream music industry doesn't pay as much attention to rock bands as they do with pop solo acts. So BTS's first trilogy of albums, known as the School Trilogy, attracted a lot of rebellious students and young people since the songs were about many topics related to school life as well as criticism on the education system and expectations society enforces on adolescents. As the years pass, BTS started incorporating psychological concepts to their songs, attracting listeners who look for music that talk about mental health problems. And again, this is also very common in rock music. The same way, BTS has written about depression, anxiety, grief, loneliness, pain, and insecurities. While continuing the conversation of mental health issues, BTS amplified their social commentary on the education system to larger systems like society, consumerism, toxic masculinity, social differences, and injustices.
저 잡아나니 타인 것 편견의 피자 하나야 그거 뿐인 것 신의 자유와 타인의 자유가 동일하다 믿는지 그렇다면 주저 말고 올라타봐 금지된 것들로 부투여해봐 타본의 노예 돈들의 노예 중고생각 편견 혐오의 노예 All we got is mad teachers and some visible classes divided spaces and for everlasting stresses more than a gun more than another tip with your tongue just glue We got none of the truth I know 우리 서로 오지 I know get crazy When the fuck get crazy 나만 죽이는 게 아니야 동반이 계속해 우리야 우강에 캐진 저 사람 깊어 분열무가신 너네 틈이야.
And of course, songs like Change and Equal Sign may be obvious with their message, but even the most catchy songs with colorful and happy performances may have some kind of social message too. For example, the execution of Go Go is, in my opinion, one of the most rock and roll heavy metal songs I've ever heard. In the live performances, they laugh in your face. They basically do a choreography full of dance trends at the time while wearing expensive trendy outfits. The chorus is extremely catchy with a lot of popular phrases that young people like to repeat. But what they're singing is a protest on consumeristic materialism, and what they're doing is making fun of careless spending, especially when young people spend all their money on useless trends just to fit in. Even Boy With Love, that song that got me into BTS, was commentary on themselves from the past. Boy With Love is some kind of growth from their previous single, Boy In Love. The extreme pink and bubblegum pop work as a response to toxic masculinity and gender roles. They sing that someone's true strength doesn't come from big luxury. It comes from finding joy in the smallest things in life. At the same time, this feminine and even glamorous aesthetic complements the psychological idea of a persona, which they explore on their album chapters Map of the Soul based on Jungian psychology. Just like this, BTS implements psychological concepts, classical fiction, and social movements in every single album. Finally, I think of BTS as rockstars because they created a fandom with a strong sense of community. While the rock and metal scenes have served as the vehicle for multiple subcultures, such as the goth, punk, and emo subcultures, BTS has created a significant shift in fandom culture. Just like with rock and metal genres, BTS's socially conscious music has inspired their fandom army to work more as a movement than a fandom. Of course, the sense of being part of something bigger, along with other people who enjoy the same thing as you, creates a strong community. But ARMY also bond over their mission of breaking the fangirl stereotype by paying attention to social issues and taking action. I already made a video explaining how ARMY's unique story has changed fandom culture, but in general, it has to do with the way ARMY normalized within the fandom privacy, respect, security, and generosity. If you are skeptical of what I'm saying, please watch the video. The BTS ARMY is some kind of movement in pop culture. If there's a social issue, ARMY organizes themselves to follow BTS's steps. If it becomes public that BTS donated to a certain organization, ARMY matches their donation. If BTS cancels their tour because of the COVID pandemic, ARMY donates their ticket refunds to pandemic relief organizations. If BTS tickets get sold out faster than ever, ARMY donates their ticket money to organizations helping the victims of a current disaster. Charity and different initiatives happen all the time in the ARMY community. I'm not saying that extreme performances, lyrics that matter, or social commentary are exclusive to rock music and BTS. Of course, some of these factors are also common in other genres. But my point in making this video is that I, as a rock fan, got interested in BTS and became a fan, something I never thought would happen. The same way, fans of many other genres got interested in BTS and became fans because the BTS members are extremely versatile artists. So while I see them as rock stars, fans of other genres genres may associate BTS with characteristic traits of their favorite music genre. Their rock characteristics are my favorite and what I appreciate the most in them. But a hip-hop fan may think that their deep appreciation and ability at rap is what makes them special. A fan of pop music may think that their ability to make their songs sound fresh and modern is what makes them special. A fan of dance may think that it's their polished choreographies what really makes them special. And an R&B or jazz fan may think that their musical complexity and ability to interpret emotions on stage is what really makes them special. Whatever it is, Suga was right when he said that you like BTS music if you listen without prejudice.
Okay. That was a lot to unpack, I took some notes. I'm gonna hit a couple of points. Yeah, if you listen without prejudice, I think you'll definitely 9 times out of 10, because some people they're just natural born haters. They're gonna hate anything. But if you listen without prejudice, the average person, I think you will like it because they have so many different sounds and so many different types of music. You'll find something that you like. Overall, they are rock stars in a sense of the definition for that term. I think she did a good job of explaining why she likes them compared to rock stars and why does she become a fan even though she likes rock. I think the broader term, are they BTS or rock stars, it can mean a multitude of things, but rock star, that term is simply put like for being super popular, super famous, and just having all of the aura that comes with it. And I do believe that they are rock stars just based on everything, based on the music, based on the lyrics, based on the aura around them whenever they land. You got tens of thousands of people trying to snap a picture. Like there's a lot of people, there's not many fan groups like the Army who treats them that way. Like I'm just telling you, did you see Jungkook coming out the airport? I seen a video of him coming in the airport. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But regardless, I do believe they're rock stars. I took a couple of notes. I'll explain to you like the points that I saw that I was interested in. Like point number 1, I didn't know they had that many music, because I guess I like so much of their music and they cross genres so much that I normally don't even notice. But they like Arson and the Spring Day remix, like I just seen like they got it was so many music clips that she put that I didn't even really think about. I was like, bro, this is sounding kind of rocky, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that they can hide different genres it's not like they're hiding it, but it's like it just flows together. Like the pop flows in the rock and the rock flows in the rap and the rap sometimes in the EDM. And it's just like, to me, that's interesting because normally when someone does a certain genre, you know if they do something different, but it's just, I've been used to it so long, the complexity of their music. I just feel like for me, when I watch it, I expect that. I expect multiple sounds. I expect multiple genres. It's just, I know it's unfair, but that's just, I feel like it's normal. But as I watch this video, I realize it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, one point that she did bring up that I thought was really interesting, because I hate to bash other groups, but in K-pop, a lot of these groups, they don't really be creative. They lip sync a lot of stuff. Their dancing is lazy. It's just like a lot of these groups are just doing the bare minimum to get by, and they live off fan bases. Like they get a fan base from a company, and they wear if they're a girl group, they just try to look really cute all the time and wear colorful stuff and look innocent. If they're boys, they just try to wear super pale faces and then try to get a little schoolboy. I get it. That's what the label wants them to do, but it's not sustainable for a long period of time, or it's not sustainable to get to that rock star stage, because it's gonna wear out, it's gonna wear thin. It's been done time after time. That's why these labels replace people every 2 to 3 years and get new groups in, because they realize that once they get older, people are gonna get tired of hearing the same colorful outfits. They're gonna get tired of hearing the same lyrics. They're gonna try to move on. That's why it's better to be an artist and, you know, have some substance to what you're doing, you know. Another good point. The first song that I ever, and there's another thing that people don't know. The first song that I truly, truly remember that I was like, okay, I'm a fan of BTS. I'm not just listening to the music. I'm not just watching the videos. And I tell people this all the time, and no one believes me. People think because I tell them Save Me is my favorite song, I heard that song later down the line. The first song that I actually heard, and I was like, because I heard songs that I liked, but the first song that I heard, and I know it's gonna be kind of weird for people, is Boy With Love Too. When I first heard it, I was like, I love the vocal line of it. Nah. Like, I like that mixed with Hazley. Like, I was like, yo, I like this. This is cool. And the lyrics stuck with me, and I was just like, okay, I like this song. And then when I saw the video, I was kind of like, okay, this is kind of strange. Why they got all these light colored clothes on? But now I understand over time that, oh, that was for a purpose. It was for the album Persona. Now I get why Persona, like, it all made sense, but you just got to they hook you in with one thing, whether it be the dance, because the choreography was fire in there too. And it's like she said, when you attack people from different angles, you don't know. Boy With Love can attract you from the outfit costumes. It can attract you from the dancing aspect, the choreography, the difficult moves, the transition into those moves. It can attract you from just the lyrical side of it. Like when you look into the lyrics and you be like, oh, okay, this is what they meant. That's not what they meant. This is what they really meant. It can attract you just from the vocal sound of just the way they sound. The pitch is great. It's fantastic. You can be attracted from there, or you might just be attracted because you like, yo, I like them as a collective unit. They work really well together. The sound is really good. And when you have that ability to attract someone with one, they're gonna see everything else. I originally, because I like the sound of them all, I like the vocal line. And then boom, now I'm looking at the choreography. I'm like, oh, that's impressive. Now I looked at the video. Oh, the video is really, really good. I'm like, that's impressive too. What's Persona? Oh, that's part of the series, man. But okay. Now I'm looking at the albums. I'm like, oh, okay. You see how one little small thing can get you hooked into a web of content, a web of what they want? And it could be a multitude of things to get you there. You just got to be open-minded and willing to listen. The work ethic when it comes to the dance, I spoke on this on many dance practices. Being a rock star is more than just going on stage slamming your guitar. It's putting on a show. It's putting on a performance that the people who paid for you to come see, the people who paid to come see you will never forget. So when you bring that energy and you bring that enthusiasm and you bring that artistry, it makes everyone in that stadium feel like, yo, I got my money's worth tonight. I paid to see a show and they gave me a show. And I think that's part of the reason fans love them, because of their performance. Anytime I post reaction videos to music, the first comments I always see is, Dom, watch the live show. Dom, the live is so much better. I love BTS, but I love BTS live more. And I'm like, live. And then I watched the MMA 19. Then I watched the MMA 2020. Then I watched 18. And I watched 17. And I watched 16. And I watched the Mamas. And I watched the comeback concerts. And I realized that, oh, okay, this is what a big population of people love. They love the performance. Then there's a big population that said, bro, I just love the music videos. You see what I'm saying? You throw in one and then you become in a web. You get caught in all the other stuff. Me personally, I love parts of the BTS world. The BTS world is so interesting to me. That content, that storyline, Easter eggs in all videos, even the solos, the Wings and Black Swan, the Wings and Jungkook video, like all of that for me is like, I love maps. So that's why I love Map of the Soul Persona. I love mental maps. I love when the artistry plays a game with me. Like, no, you have to, this is all keys. This is all, and that's why I love Easter eggs and videos. I like looking it up. I like investigating. I like putting all of the pieces together. That's what I enjoy from being a fan. And I'm surprised that a K-pop group even did that. That's what makes it really interesting to me. Also, it's just crazy how they're able to do it and then have a whole nother world with a whole nother storyline. That's crazy. And I suggest anybody watch X Solis video on the BTS story. Like, it's crazy. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in music. It's probably the best non-musical story that I've ever heard in my life as a part of content for a music genre, and that puts in all of the pieces together. It's just amazing. And whoever idea was that, incredible. The shows, the performances they put together, 2019 MMA, 2020 MMA, 2018 MMA, those are three of the best shows that I've ever seen in my life. To put that into award shows, you know how lucky those award shows are to have those three performances, 18, 19, 20? That will go down in history as three of the greatest award show performances ever, especially the 19 one. 37 minutes of non-stop music performances. 2020, if it would have had Sugar, I would have liked 2020 more than I liked 19 if they had Sugar, you know what I'm saying? But he was hurt, so. But it's just, when you put that much energy, you know how hard that is to go out there and put on a mini concert? That's half of a concert, and they put it on for an award show. The costume changes, the dancers, the lights, the choreography, the practice. You know how long that would take? The Super Bowl takes you months to prepare, and it's only 5 to 7 minutes. So imagine what a 37-minute performances live is gonna do. It's just amazing, man. And last but not least, the lyrics. When they're able to write what's going on in their life, whether it be this era about school, whether it be this era about love, whether it be this era about the conformity of the pressures of family and school and the government, and it's just hard to do. You have to have courage, you have to have wits, and you have to be somewhat of a poet to be that sharp lyrically to put it all into a few words. How can I describe a tragedy like the fairy tragedy and Soul? How can I describe that in 3 minutes? What? I got to do this in 3-4 minutes? It was a major tragedy. People died. It was corruption. There was a lot of stuff going on. How can I give someone a mental idea in 3 minutes? That takes talent. That's why it's still charting to this day. It's crazy. And to me, it's just, you have to say they're rock stars, not only because of the way they carry themselves, but the way people hold them in regard. I think that's the biggest part of being a rock star. It's not how I act. It's not how I perceive myself. And it's not even how the internet thinks. How do people perceive me in real life? Every time they get off the plane in every country, it's crazy. Every show is packed. Every piece of content, like, they've literally fed people through internet content. There are people who make channels. This channel does multitude of music. There are channels that literally only do just profit 100% on BTS. Like, there are people I've seen, they've gotten 100 to 200,000 subscribers just off BTS content. That's all they do is BTS content. And they make a great living, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, just off reviewing only BTS content and getting sponsorships. Like, you know how many people they fed? Like, don't get me wrong, a big chunk of my channel has come off BTS content. And even though I do all genres, all music, a big chunk is BTS content, and it's strictly because they got so much content. I'm still not even 30, 40% there, and I did more than half of my content was BTS. And I'm still haven't even, it's been 8 months, and I haven't even scratched the surface. So it just shows you, not only are they doing it for them, they're doing it for other people. They're doing it, they're supporting people. They're feeding people, literally. They're hosting charities and having people donate to great causes. This is what rock stars do. This is what the epitome of a rock star is. And hey, that's just my opinion. I think they are rock stars. So you guys tell me in the comments, what do you think about our BTS rock stars? Based on my opinion on what a rock star is, and based on what you think a rock star is. Do you agree with the video that Boris made? Do you agree with my opinions and thoughts of that video? Or do you think they're not rock stars and I'm overreacting and Boris overreacting? Or do you think that everything that I said is true? I would love to hear your opinions, love to hear your thoughts, and tell me, what do you think about them being who they are based on all of the characteristics that I named, whether it be dance, lyrics, performance, all of that put together. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and remember, always with love. Peace.